Good morning. Good morning, my Facebook friends and my Instagram friends and my LinkedIn friends and whoever else, maybe YouTube. Good morning, great morning, fantastic, marvelous morning. When people ask me, how are you doing? I say fantastic because it's the truth. Why? Because my God, your God, our creator, chose me to rise this morning for a day that we will never, ever, ever see again. And that's why with the Uwees family, it talks about, right, living in every moment and making sure that we recognize that we are alive, breathing, and have this gift called life in spite of everything that's going on. Because what it appears to be is that our Creator says, no matter what's going on, I am in control. And that's why I want to give him the honor, the praise, the glory, the hallelujah, the worship, and most importantly, the acknowledgement. I've learned through my 68 years on this journey called life, particularly in my 14-year addiction, and now in my 34 years in this marvelous life of recovery, that life is designed to allow me to go through situations, circumstances, ups and downs around and at whatever, so that I can be led back to my Creator's waiting arms. And so I know now that my greatest possession has been my past. And this past that I'm creating will also be my greatest possession. Why? Because of the 12 spiritual principles, resources, right? Tools that I've been learning through the Alcoholics Anonymous spiritual program within a spiritual fellowship. So you see, for me, it is all about being challenged and using that serenity prayer to find out what's God's and what's mine, and most importantly, the wisdom to know the difference. Now, I don't know. Hold on, y'all. This thing on Instagram is messing up. So let me do this. Y'all just hold on. Cause y'all know me. I am not trying to be distracted with this thing. And yeah, for real, it's gonna be shown anyway. So I'm gonna cut this baby off, right? I'm gonna cut it off because it's something wrong. Okay. And so, one thing that recovery has taught me, hit the pause button, check out what the issue is. Don't let the enemy steal your joy or keep you from doing what God has destined for you to do. And so, right now, it's obvious that I need to start my phone if I am to continue with Instagram. All right. And so that's why for me, giving him the honor, the praise, the glory, the hallelujah, right, and the worship means so much to me because I, like you, am learning how to apply spiritual resources, tools, and principles to all earthly matters. Therefore, I'm just going to let y'all know that I am willing now to put back on. It says my battery is low. Let's see. Well, that's not the case. Okay, and so I am enjoying my life here on this earth, and I am living in my I am having my heaven and living in my heaven here on earth. Okay, and so let me go back to Instagram and see what happens, okay? And if nothing happens, nothing happens, right? But I'm going to see if anything is different this time, all right? And so, what I want to share with you, I've been away for the weekend, and I usually do Mondays through Fridays, unless I come to y'all during the day for whatever reason. And so this weekend, I think I did do something. I shared with you a journey that I had to embark on in terms of getting information out about saving lives from overdoses. And so Saturday, before I went to my regular job to do some things, I was able to, share some information, distribute some information about Narcan training. And Canaan Baptist Church is having our celebration on October the 26th, and the public is invited, as well as the other partners that took the training on site. And we are inviting all of them to come on Saturday, October the 26th. We will provide transportation. We will pay for their staff to bring their participants. You know why? Because it's worth it. At some point, money should not matter. What should matter is the principle of things. The money will come. And so I just thank God that being a part of my church, Canaan Baptist Church, under the leadership of Christopher Allen Bullock, pastor, and my First Lady, Dr. Debbie Bullock, pastor, and Reverend Daniels, who is the project director for Mood, right? And that is the project that was named for multicultural outreach, right, of opiates deliverers, right? Okay. And so that is coming up on October the 26th. The other joy that I have is you just never know, like throughout the day, what's going on, right? And so yesterday I was getting messages or codes on my dashboard, right? And I'm just gonna, y'all know I'm honest and transparent and authentic. So I lost two vehicles because I kept riding, and forgot or neglected to put oil in the car. So y'all know what happened. So when I was getting this message that was over a week ago, I didn't pay it attention. I didn't pay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I didn't. So yesterday I yielded to the spirit because I saw that it was getting worse. And so I drove to AutoZone while some people were waiting for me at the studio to talk. I'll talk about that in a minute. And as I was in the AutoZone, I needed to get a oil change kit in the event that when I do take it somewhere, I have what I need. Well, honey, there was a young guy in there, and he looked like he was doing something. And I said, "Sir, can you change my oil?" He was like, "Sure." I was like, "Lord, thank you. Oh my God." And listen, he could have charged me $1,000. I wouldn't have cared, right? But he only charged me 40, and the situation was resolved. And you see, that's what I mean by doing the next right spiritual thing and learning how to ask for help. And I'm not afraid of the word no, right? But look what happened. I got my oil changed, and the code is gone, and I'm on my merry way. And so as a result of doing that, I went to the base studio owned by Chris Fullman at 900 Church Street. And it's a beautiful setup, right? And so Don Thomas, who is my operations producer and production, right? He's the director of operations and productions. All right. And so him and his wife, Lyric, right? She's a gospel rapper. And to my surprise, there was Rochelle Wilson, right? My girl. And so we wanted to do a taping about what's going on in terms of the update for Dr. Reverend Benjamin Twimby Brown, who many of you know passed uh, earlier this year. And I was given the leadership of executive director, and I appointed Don Thomas as the director of operations and productions. All right. And so the three of us, Don is in the background doing what he does best with the camera, and Rochelle, I, and Lyric were on the set, if you will, and we created 3 8-minute segments so that the community, so that we can update the community about what's going on. And so, very briefly, many of you know that Twin Legacy must go on. This man dedicated so many years and to the community, 70 plus years in television and over 50 years in community support and 30 years in video workshops, okay, for the youth. And so when we got together, we said we need to give the community an update about where we're going. And so I'm giving it to you now. We are reestablishing or relaunching CCC, Community Communications Corporation. Under my leadership, the Spiritual Revival Hour will be resumed. My Choosing a New Way of Life talk show will be resumed. What's going on in the community will be resumed. My morning podcast, like I'm doing now, which is new, will be a part of my contribution. Rochelle Wilson will be bringing on information regarding what she is doing, justice reform, and she is on the radio with Dr. Harmon Carey, and so she will be bringing some new and innovative programs to the CCC platform. And then Lyric, who is a gospel rapper, right? She is bringing she empowerment and he empowerment talk shows, which will inform the community about what's going on in the world, particularly here in Delaware. Don will be bringing DFilm, right, and his documentaries and his movies, and they will be concentrating on issues that are plaguing our community: domestic violence, sex trafficking, and for me, the opiate epidemic, and for Rochelle, the injustices that are continue to happen. And so we just want to inform you about what's going on. We will be encouraging, inviting our youth, the next generation, which is already here, to bring some productions from their perspective and to share with others and how we can perpetuate making the positive outshine the negative. Now, we also recognize and have been reading through the AA Daily Reflection, and I mentioned it yesterday, negative things are a learning experience, right? Because everything is not always hunky-dory, right? There are some challenges, there are some negativities, there are some problems, there is pain, and without those things, how can we experience the other side? And so it's a matter of AA saying AA stands for attitude adjustment. And so one of the things that I pointed out was we learn and should learn from our past experiences, and we should do what we can to be the model to change the attitudes, ideas, and behaviors of those who are looking up to us, and not just a positive way, but a spiritual way. Because if it's not spiritual, it's not going to last. Okay. And the last thing I want to say, I was praying and I was asking, the Spirit to help me decide as the leader of CCC that we should, and I will recommend it to Don and the board, delay his upcoming celebration, which we targeted for November to February, right? Black History Month. I was also talking to one of the Smiths brothers, and he was talking about how twins archives should be preserved and put in the museum. The one that's going to be at on 11th Street, where a couple weeks ago they did the ribbon cutting ceremony. And so, what Twin has taught me and what Recoveries has taught me, not to rush anything, right? Because you want to do it in order and you want to do it spiritually correct, right? And so I'm going to propose to the board and to Don that we do not have his launching of his book, which is scheduled as well. And we were going to have simultaneously his celebration of life, that we move it to February. This way we can do a fundraiser, we can solicit sponsors, we can identify the venue, we can sell ads and do it right, because Twin gave so much of his life, as stubborn as he was, as difficult as he was for some people, right? I just didn't pay him no mind, right? And so, why do an injustice to all that he provided to the community? Because many of you would not be watching or have cable if it wasn't for Dr. Brown. I definitely will not be here talking with you if it wasn't for Dr. Brown. Okay, so those are my announcements, and I'm going to make sure that we do this correct, in order, and spiritually. You agree? Good. Thank you. All right, so let's get to our topic today. All right, let's see who joined me. Hey, little bit 603. Thank you for joining me. Now, do you see the topic that's on the screen today? Daily monitoring. All right. So many of you know, being a part of a 12-step spiritual program for the past 34 years, one day at a time, I go to my meetings every day in one way, shape, form, or fashion. Hold on, y'all. Let me take a drink of coffee. Okay. And as a result, I get to hone in on something that will help me concentrate and focus on this day, this moment, right? That is a gift and will never come again. And so most times when we wake up, we are already in our head what we're going to do, da 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 da. But listen, when I recognized that I was chosen, I said, Lord, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. And just two simple words. Thank you. Acknowledgement. You'll be surprised. And if you follow me all day, Lord, I love you. Lord, I love you. Lord, I love you. And it's heartfelt because it's real. I love my God. I'm in love with my God. Nothing and nobody else met me underneath that parked car 34 years ago when I cried out, whoever they say you are, take me out or show me a better way. It was his choice that I remain here, and it was his decision that he prepared me, mold me, shape me to be of service to him and my fellow human beings. So guess what? We were born to serve, and I know he is well pleased with me, as cuckoo for Cocoa Pops as I am. So yes, free to hope. Conversation with Edwina B, Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. You better believe it. All right. All right. So when I go to my meetings, the daily reflections of Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a quote from our co-founders, and then there's a alcoholics perspective and sharing about that quote. So let's see what the reading today is for the daily reflection. All right, so let's go here. And when you think about daily monitoring, right? And so when you think about daily monitoring, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? All right. And so, well, before we get into all that, let's read it and share with you what Alcoholics Anonymous means when it says to daily monitoring. Okay. It says here, continue to take personal inventory. I know Instagram, y'all can't see it, but I'm reading it to you. Facebook, YouTube, y'all can. Continue to take personal inventory. And this is from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions off of page 88. And the person in recovery shares his experience. Oh my God, this is one of my, I love this one. It says, the spiritual axiom referred to in the 10th step says, every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us. Also tells me that there are no exceptions to it. No matter how unreasonable others may seem, I am responsible for not reacting negatively. Regardless of what is happening around me, I will always have the prerogative and the responsibility of choosing what happens within me. I am the creator of my own reality. He goes on to say, when I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. Whoever is upsetting me most is the best teacher. I have much to learn from him or her, and in my heart, I should thank that person. Oh my God. Oh Lord, I love you. Okay, here come the tears. Here come the tears, y'all. When I say that this recovery process that's spiritual in nature has been waiting for me. However, I needed to go through what I went through in order to come through, right? And so that knee bowing experience that I had early morning on February the 22nd underneath that parked car, getting high with my own stepson, doing all kind of sexual favors for him. And when it was all said and done, he wanted to beat me up like any bitch in the street, right? And so could you imagine being underneath a parked car? Dogs and cats get underneath the parked car, right? And so in my creator's infinite wisdom, who I knew nothing about, because I was taught that God was a punishing God. And so that's why I needed, and it was destined for me to go through, to get through, and to come through so I could be sitting here before you, right? And so I thank my God. I thank my God for that experience because it led me to him. I thank God for the pain. I thank God for everything that I went through in order for me to have that knee bowing experience and cry out to him, help me. I need to thank all those situations because they led me to that knee bowing experience, the one and only knee bowing experience, right? That will challenge me. And it didn't have to challenge me underneath that parked car because I was done. I was done, y'all. I was done. I only weighed 90 pounds, face all sucking in, right hair all short, teeth missing and everything, full of STDs and all of that, right? I even committed murder. I had an abortion as a prostitute. And you know what? I'm going to say, Lord, thank you for all those experiences. I adjusted my attitude because of this reading. That when something or someone disturbs me, that there is something wrong with me. And that's in a positive way, right? Because it's amazing how these 12 spiritual principles, steps, and resources challenge me in a different way. We're so used to dealing with things from a human perspective. No, not at all. And I thank God for teaching me, and I thank God for showing me that this is just a vessel. What really matters is what Spirit is operating through this vessel. And so, through the 12-step spiritual program within a spiritual fellowship, I understand just a little bit better. And so now, my attitude, as it says here, when something disturbs me, upset me, I need to say thank you. So let's dissect this baby, okay? Let's see. Hey, Char Char 45, you ready to dissect this bad boy? Okay, let's do it. All right. So think about it. All right. The two that are watching right now, right? Have you ever stopped and paused, and at the end of the day, you would say to yourself, how was my day? What are some of the things I think I did right? What are some of the things I think I did wrong? Could I have been nicer? Was I nice? Could I not judge? Why did I judge? Right? Have you ever, right? And it's not too late, because I'm challenging you now. At the end of the day, they have what they call a inventory of our day. We have a spot check inventory, on the spot inventory, and we have, periodic inventories where we get to examine our attitudes, ideas, and behaviors. Why? Because I don't want to give anything or anybody that much power ever again to make me go back to drinking, right? That's just part of it. But I also don't want to give anything or anybody to remove me where God has placed me. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? He chose me. So why would I give anything or anybody that much power ever again to let that upset me, knock me off my square? And so when I am presented with situations like that, it's time for an examination. Yes, why did that bother me? Why did that upset me? Why am I judging her? Why am I feeling that way? Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. And I say thank you. I say thank you. I practice saying thank you, right, when those situations happen. And so if y'all have embarked on monitoring your attitudes and behaviors, what was the benefit, right? You got a chance to check yourself. We so busy checking everybody else. What about checking yourself? Okay. So it says the spiritual axiom referred to in the 10th step. Quote, every time, not sometimes, every time we are disturbed, y'all, every time, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us. Now, you may be listening this for the first time and say, what the hell? What you mean? That person hit me, she talked about me, she this and that, or he did this and that. Okay, well, why did it bother you? Why did it upset you? That means you are, and I'm not where I thought I was, because the Ruiz family, with the 5 agreements, 4 originally, now 5, it says don't take anything personally. You're right. Huh? But it's true. Practice not taking anything personally. Right? One can deflate our ego, the other one can increase our ego. And guess what? Ego easing God out. Right? So practice like I'm practicing not to take anything personally. If I don't take anything personally, right, it won't disturb me. But the fact that I do take things personally, that means I need to do an examination as to why that bothered me. So you see how that works, right? So it's an indication. It's like neon lights. Something's wrong with you. Attitude adjustment, right? And so it says every time, not some of the time, but every time. Okay. And then he goes on to say, right? Who also, it tells me that there are no exceptions to it. You see what I'm saying? Wow. If we take this daily inventory, and as we go through the day, and it says no exceptions, no exceptions, no exceptions. Woo! assumptions, y'all. That is powerful. That is powerful. Because every time something or someone disturbs me in any way, shape, form, or fashion, indicates that there's something wrong with me. And we should tell that situation, that person, thank you. Every time, there's no exceptions. Thank you. Because guess what? It's our opportunity to cry out to our God to help us. Lord, why does that bother me? Lord, why did I let that get off? Lord, what spiritual principle can I apply to this? Lord, what spiritual angle can I come from? Lord, what spiritual solution is necessary to... Yeah, because the enemy is so busy. The other agreement that the Uwees family talks about is not to make any assumptions. Woo, that is a challenge, right? Now, many of you know, and because y'all know I tell on myself, right? Y'all know I tell on myself, right? All right, so many of you know that for me, what assumptions mean in one way, shape, form, or fashion, it makes a butt out of you and a butt out of me. All right. I'm trying to get better with my cussing, even though I like cussing every once in a while. You know. So, right. And so, not to practice not making any assumptions because we don't know. We don't know. And how many times when we make an assumption, we are creating the story, right? The situation worse because we're only coming from our perspective. We don't know until we ask, until we find out. You know how challenging it is not to take anything personal. You know how challenging it is not to make assumptions. Well, good. That means something is wrong with us. And we should find a way to practice these spiritual principles, tools, and resources so we can learn how to wear the world like a loose garment, to be in the world but not of the world, and to experience your heaven here on earth, okay? And so that's why I love being this journey called recovery. All right, so let's go on to see what they say. In addition, it says here, right? I am responsible for not reacting. Wait a minute. No matter how unreasonable others may seem, no matter how unreasonable others may seem, I am responsible for not reacting negatively. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm telling you. No matter how unreasonable others may seem, it is my responsibility not to act negatively. Well, let's choose. I tell you, I talk about you, I talk about me. How many times have I been unreasonable? I want my way. It's my way or the highway, or you're going to do what I tell you to do. And I was neglectful. I was this, I was that. And guess what? So what? Right? But we don't realize that we, right, initiated by our character defects, the character defects of others. And majority of the time, because we're human, we acted in a negative way. And when you who are crippled with the disease of co-occurring disorders, right? A lot of times in the past, that used to take us back to drinking, prostituting, cracking, and all of those kind of stuff. Hell to the no. Hell to the no, right? And so now, because I know what effect I have on people when I am right acting out on my character defects, they have every right to respond or react accordingly. But see, people in recovery and with this 12-step spiritual program, we cannot afford anger. We can't afford resentments. We can't afford jealousy. We can't afford no negativity. So that forces us, and after a while, we will welcome it to learn how to respond or not even respond. Don't take it personally. Don't make assumptions, and always, always do your best. So you see, that's why I was chosen to sit before you today and to give you my experience, my strength, and my hope, and let you know I am work in progress. But guess what? I am making progress because my God is on sacred time and man's on secular time, okay? And so when they talk about I must not let nothing or anybody make me respond in a negative way. You know why? Because it steals my joy, my peace, and my serenity, all right? And the best thing to use is that serenity prayer. Am I right? So that serenity prayer says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? But it also applies to people, y'all. God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I can't change, the courage to change the person that I can, and the wisdom to know that that person is me. Why should I give anything or anybody that much power ever again? One, to take me back to drinking. Two, put me underneath that parked car. Three, or to steal my joy, peace, and serenity. Hell to the no. No. But those situations will continue to come about just to measure how far I've gone, but also to measure how far I still have to go. Meaning I won't achieve perfection at all. I will have to be and am satisfied with making progress. And it's the awareness, y'all. It's the awareness. Wow, Edwina, why did you say that? Wow, Edwina, why did you do that? Mm. Edwina, is what you did, what you want to say, what you feeling. Is it going to feed the flesh or the spirit? Mm. And so that's why being reminded of these spiritual principles, tools, and resources are designed to help us. Huh? Are we reacting or are we responding? And it has and should be, and we should practice it in a spiritual way. Okay? All right, so it goes on to say, right? Regardless of what is happening around me, I will always have the prerogative and the responsibility of choosing what happens within me. Oh, my. You didn't think you had that power, did you? I didn't, right? No. But when I had my knee bowing experience, which you will have if you haven't had already, I will cry out to this creator, this God that we don't know. But at that point, this painful situation, this humiliating situation, right, forced us to like, I'm done. I don't know you. I don't know you, but take me out or show me a better way. Right? You see what I'm saying? And so that painful situation was a gift. Yes. It was a gift. Woo! Because had I not, I don't know where I would be. I would probably still be, I don't know. I ain't going to try to figure it out. I don't believe in if I coulda, woulda, shoulda. What I believe in, it happened. I said it. I did it. And what now? What's the right thing to do about it? No. What's the next right spiritual thing to do about it? Right? Repent and ask for forgiveness and keep on trudging and stumbling forward. All right. So let's see what else it says here, right? It says, I am the creator of my own reality. Can I tell y'all something? Huh? Can I tell you something? Listen, come to an open AA meeting. Now, y'all know that my Sunrise Group meeting is every morning at the Congo Legacy Center, 501 West 28th Street from 7:30 to 8:30 every morning, as well as Saturday morning. And then we're there from 9 to 10 on Sunday. So it's an open meeting. So here you can come and get an idea of this spiritual program within a spiritual fellowship where everyone has had their common experience of suffering from alcoholism and or mental illness known as co-occurring disorders, right? And you will see how we are from many walks of life, up, down, rich, poor, broke, not broke, whatever. But our common denominator was we could not stop using. All human beings are ill to some extent, and all human beings can benefit from a 12-step spiritual program. So I was led, and you are being led if the seed is planted and you yield to the Spirit. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's why y'all tune in, right? Because I done created through God through me has created some type of interest, some type of seed that says, good. Now, will you continue to watch? Will you continue to not only hear, but listen? Will you continue to be ready so that the teacher can appear? And then, like me, once I saw that he kept me here, the spiritual student became ready, and the spiritual teachers continue to appear. Oh, yes. And that's why every situation, every circumstance that bothers me, I need to ask myself why from a spiritual perspective. I love this. Oh my God. All right. So let's go on to the last part because y'all know I got to get ready to go to my meeting. All right. So the last part says, when I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. I know that when I take my daily inventory, I must stop judging others. When I take my personal inventory, I must stop judging others. And when I see that I'm about to, Lord help me. When I see that I did, Lord forgive me. When I see that I'm thinking about it, Lord take it from me. Because I know you know, I know you know, I know you know, I know you know, I know, yeah, I know you know, yeah. Huh? That's why that daily inventory is so important. Because when I judge others, I too am being judged. Oh, Lord, I love this thing. Okay, all right, so wait a minute, I got a few more minutes, right? And then it says here, if I judge others, I am probably judging myself. Whoever is upsetting me the most is my best teacher. Now, whatever is upsetting me the most is my best teacher. And I have a situation right now that I need to address. And I need my God to go before me. And I need my God to help prepare me to seek understanding rather than being judgmental or critical. See, in our program, we learn if we make assumptions or we take in it personal, it is really coming from our own perspective, right? And it may be so off the mark that we create a mountain out of a molehill. When in reality, all I need to practice doing is going to the horse's mouth, not to confront, not to accuse, but to get an understanding, to ask for clarity so that I don't take anything personal, so I don't make any assumptions because it's that person who has the answer. And so, if I really wanted to understand, then to be understood, then I need to be humble. Like, can you tell me what's going on? Can you share with me what this is all about? I don't want to take it personal. I don't want to make any assumptions. I'm just trying to understand what's going on so that I can have the opportunity to make my own decisions, to make my own choices based on this situation or based on the information you have, right? I'm just trying to seek understanding, right? And so I thank God, my creator, for giving me the wisdom through the 12 spiritual principles, tools, and resources that I'm able and willing to do that, but in a humble perspective. I need to practice humility. And then I need to practice not talking with my body. See, I've learned that I can listen to what people say, but I listen to their behavior. And I must do the same thing for me, right? I want to act like but my behavior may be saying this, and that. So that's false. That's a lie. That's a mask, right? And so I truly want to be humble so that I can understand your perspective, your angle, the situation, so that I can make the best choice for me. Because I have no control over you, this, that, or that. I do have control over me, right? To some extent. But I ask my God to help me. I ask my God to give me the spirit of discernment, right? I yield to my Holy Spirit so that I can follow without resistance and just surrender. I surrender all. I surrender all. You know, it is so easy just to surrender. Stay at peace, stay in tranquility, stay serene so that you can live in purpose, on purpose, and be of service to our Creator that will help us be of service to our fellow human beings. Huh? And so the last thing that they said here, right? Let me put it up again. And I probably will read it again just to show y'all, it says here, right, I should thank those persons. I have much to learn from him or her in my heart, and in my heart I should thank that person. And so let me read it again before I close, okay? This is the daily reflection, right, from Alcoholics Anonymous, right? And it will give us information to help us, right, be the best person that we can be throughout the day. And it reads, continue to take personal inventory, y'all. We have an acronym called HALT. Don't get too hungry, don't get too angry, don't get too lonely, and don't get too tired, right? And halt, hit the pause button when you see yourself going there, when you feel your anger is going up and up and up, and you feel you getting ready to go there because your body lets you know something's about to go down. Hit that pause button. Take a deep breath. Walk away. Pray, Lord, help me, help me. I got a situation I'll tell you tomorrow, right? And so when we do that, right, we are constantly looking at and evaluating my response and or my reaction, and be able to adjust them according to the spiritual principles that are available, okay? And so then it says, from the perspective of the person, the spiritual axiom referred to in the 10th step: every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause. There is something wrong with us. It also tells me that there are no exceptions to it. No matter how unreasonable others may seem, I am responsible for not reacting negatively. Regardless of what is happening around me, I will always have the prerogative and the responsibility of choosing what happens within me. I am the creator of my own reality. They end by saying, when I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. Whoever is upsetting me most is my best teacher. Yes, yes, yes. I have much to learn from him or her, and in my heart, I should thank that person. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Lord, I am just at all with my journey here on earth, and I just can't even explain it. It's undescribable. But I thank everything, everybody, every situation, every circumstance that helped me to get where I am right now. The spiritual experience that brought about spiritual awakenings that are providing me an unlimited amount of spiritual breakthroughs. And they had to do with the 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous within a 12-step spiritual fellowship. The Spiritual Revival Hour by Dr. Benjamin Twimby Brown, the late Dr. Benjamin Twimby Brown, giving songs of inspiration, consolation, meditation, and education. The gospel songs that I would listen to, and that's all I listen to now, right? And then the journal that I kept the first 4 years in my recovery, because I was such a liar and still am, can be to some extent. I'm transparent and authentic, but that situation will cause me to say, Edwina, why you do that? Repent. Why you do that? Right? Make apology, okay? And then the journal that I kept, because my sponsor said, and when you lie in therapy, you lie in counseling, you lie in the meetings, when are you going to be true to yourself? And that's what happened when I kept that 4-year journal off and on. I was true to myself. And then I joined my church through my spiritual awakenings, experiences, and breakthroughs. It was pointed out that I needed a shepherd, a family, home, and a covenant, right? And so I did select Canaan Baptist Church through the Holy Spirit. And I've been there for 19 years, right? So their teachings help to enhance my spirituality, okay? And then the 5 agreements by the Uiz family, right? 1, be impeccable with your word. 2, don't take anything personally. 3, don't make any assumptions. 4, always do your best. And 5, be skeptical but learn to listen. All right? All of those things I have to learn to apply to myself. And then I can apply them to you, and you. And when anything or anybody disturb me, I'm going to say thank you, because you're letting me know I still have some more spiritual growing to do. I love you. You love me. We are one big family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Ooh, 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 ooh. I love y'all. I tell you, I love you. So, if it is God's will that we are rejoined tomorrow, I'll be here and you will be too. But it's all up to Him. Either way, listen, listen. It's His choice. And guess what? I want what He wants for me. Do you? So, as you go through the day and you find yourself getting disturbed, upset, smile, 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 smile. And the person will say, why are you smiling? because you just taught me something that I have more work to do. So thank you. Try it. Be safe. I love you, and be of service to others. Got to go. Oh, Lord.